What's going on, world? Your man, Mr. Mac.
And I'm Crystal Evans.
This is the M+M+M show, a.k.a. the
Okay.
show coming to you live and direct with a woman who crosses more borders than sheesh. None of that's going to work out. Nothing I was about to say is going to work out.
Who can't cross certain borders anymore? This is my best friend from across the pond. This is Nevis. This is my best friend. She's tattooed on my ribs. Introduce yourself so the people know.
But you just did that. Yeah, you ruined it completely. Last time I put you in charge.
Okay.
Could you introduce yourself so folks know that I'm not lying?
Of course. Hi, my name is Nevis. Thank you so much to be on your show. And most definitely, Crystal is my best friend. We've known each other for 13 years now, right?
Yeah.
So
I moved to the city. I moved to New York 14 years ago, so we met definitely.
Right. And I moved 13 years ago, so that's how we met. And yeah, thank you for to be on this show. I think it's an amazing show that you guys have. Always interesting to listen to you.
Hey.
Happy to be here.
And you're calling us from Switzerland, right?
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
What time is it over there? I asked the most touristy, nerdy question ever. What time is it?
It's 8 p.m. and it's not Sweden, it's Switzerland. Which
a lot of people, yo, it is the craziest thing how Americans, and I'm talking shit about Americans. We are not taught some basic things that I think the rest of the world just generally knows, like just basic geography.
Right, but at the same time, if you ask me for any state and like the main capital and where exactly it is, I know it a little bit, but I can't tell you every single one probably because it's just America, the USA, right? But we have different countries. Just EU is the nation, so yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess size-wise, like I mean, people in America are like Lithuania, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's places that they have not heard of. I mean, there's politicians that think Africa's a country. You see what I'm saying? That type of really, really wrong.
I mean, some politicians don't even know which state in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
We just got finished talking about one that doesn't live in, like, he's the congressman for a state that he doesn't live in. He moved. He's never.
I thought that was not legal. I mean, there's a lot of.
No, he 100% does not live in the state that he represents. He's smooth moved. Well, immediately.
We were just talking about police. I mean, there's lots of things to talk about police, but about how if you have never lived in a city and you police intercity and you live in the suburb and like your perspective on like other races is all the way off. And you could say it's not your fault until, like when you're a kid, but at some point it's your fault for not having like influence, access, or, like just being around other colors, and much less working in a violent job amongst other colors and have no personal experience. Like you don't live in the city, you don't know the people, you just go in there to police them, harass them.
I definitely have experienced that. I mean, when I was locked up, you cross race with a little bit different type of people. Like maybe they have never left Brooklyn, they have never left the Bronx, not even to Manhattan. So it's like they may be comfortable there, but it's just, I feel like with the internet and everything, you should educate yourself a little bit, just in general, what's going on in the world.
But actually, speaking of, some of our listeners don't know your personal history. Like, so when I was locked up, so you moved to the States to do what? Like, what was the plan?
First I was I graduated in Switzerland and I had an opportunity to sell watches in New York because I already sold watches over here during college. There was actually
hustling. She was already hustling.
Yes, I'm a salesperson, I guess. And what happened is the company moved after a few months to Hong Kong, and that was just not my interest. So I already was in love with New York. I'm like, I want to stay in New York because coming from Switzerland, you always see America in the TVs and the music, and you just think that's the best country in the world, which I'm not denying. I'm just saying when you live there, it's going to be different. It's just like vacation. If you go somewhere, I want to live here, but then when you live there, you see the other problems. So, but I was 20 years old. And since the company moved, I'm like, well, but I want to stay here. So I started working at a gentleman's club to figure out what I do. Right.
And your English was, it was like what, it was what you had learned from like, what was her quote? What was your favorite quote?
Where the cash at?
Where the cash at?
That's the first sentence.
That's the first sentence. No,
before you continue, what is the native language that you speak?
German, Swiss German, actually.
You're a German. You're German.
No,
No,
A specific. Yeah, go ahead.
No, let her answer.
That's what I said.
so basically there's Germany and they speak German, but it's like a high German. And then you have Switzerland, which we speak French, Italian, and German, but Swiss German, which is like a dialect. But from the dialect, you have another 25 dialects. And there's a fourth language, which is like a little bit a mountain language. It's called Romansch, which really 20,000 people in the whole world can maybe talk. And I'm just from the German part, which is called East Switzerland. But now I live in Zurich, which is basically the biggest city in Switzerland. But
See,
it's
now
still German.
You wonder why us Americans, Crystal, can't keep it straight. Did you hear all that just now? It's like 40. She just rattled off like 82 languages for no reason between like 5 places.
Right.
And also though, I can be like honest. So once you get to know somebody and you know the facts that they tell you, you think it's common knowledge. You forget that it's not common knowledge. I've known her for so long that these are just obvious things about Switzerland. Like anybody that doesn't know that about Switzerland is dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
to me.
I'm
And
dumb. I'm
being-
totally dumb.
being
I had no
a jerk.
idea about Switzerland. I'm totally dumb.
Right, but I'm being a jerk. But I'm saying, like, for example, when I would come across new artists, we have a funny story about Talib, who was on our show, about somebody told us that he was going to introduce us to Talib, introduced us to a guy, and we're like, okay, that's Talib. It was not Talib. The guy was not Talib. He got us shots. It was like hitting on us and all this crap. Wearing red leather pants, but we didn't know crap. Now that I know who and what Talib looks like and is and whatever. This is also 10 years ago. Also, this is early.
All right. That was our plan.
Now I know Talib would never wear red leather pants and order us sticky Patron shots. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we didn't know, so you didn't know. But now it's common knowledge.
Right,
Anyway, continue.
Chris, take your earrings off. They're hitting your mic a lot.
I like my ears.
I know they're really, really dope, but they're killing it. Oh well, that's not a look at all. That's just that's
F you.
that last one wasn't
Okay.
a look. There you go. Yeah, you want to just rock with one of them in.
I'm rocking with one.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway, yes. So
Switzerland. I mean, Switzerland is one of the richest countries. We are neutral. We're not even part of the EU.
it's like Canada and Switzerland. We're like, hey.
Right. So what I have to say, education is great. So it wasn't like I came to the States because I was looking for, because I came from like a poorer country. It's just I love everything I saw from TV, and I wanted to be a video girl, actress, like everyone wants to be, right?
Okay.
And, I made my way over there, and like I said, the Gentlemen's Club was really just for like 3 months, maybe.
And that's actually where I met her.
Right.
I was bartending.
Right. So she was a bartender there, and she was so kind. Actually, she took me out, and we became friends like that. She taught me a lot of English. You just gotta talk to people, you know. And that was basically just my startup money. And I was trying to figure out what to do, but I had a lot of motivation. My goal was to become rich, and maybe be like in the entertainment industry. Yeah. As I got there, I met different people, and then I met a girl. She had this little escort situation going on. So she had girls from Backpage, younger girls, not underage girls, just younger girls that, you know, maybe just want to make some money from college and stuff. But it was like cheap ads, you know, like cheaper type ads. So I was thinking, well, I don't want to do cheap shit. Let me find some different type of girls, go out and network. So I started going out.
Well, also the Gentlemen's Club. Didn't you say like any? I mean, I'm putting words in your mouth. Forgive me, because she's my friend, and I remember some of these stories. I remember that like you would try to get anything done, like even like encourage girls to the back room or this or that, and then the guys would take like 80% of it, or just rob you blind. Like
he did, and that's how I got fired.
How can you do business in an operation where they just hoping that you're dumb?
Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure I get this correct. So what was your role in the Gentlemen's Club initially when you got there? Were you hired to like bartend or were you dancing?
No,
what?
I was a dancer.
Okay. So as a dancer, you saw some of the politics that was happening with the other girls in the club, and you took it upon yourself to kind of unionize the situation.
Yeah, I just thought it's a potential, like even for myself. I got robbed blind in there from the managers. You know, I get tips. They would just take the tips and give me maybe 10% and all this weird stuff. And I'm like,
you make an arrangement for the back room, like, okay, fine, I'll go back there for X amount. And then the manager takes it all. It was your negotiation.
Right. And the thing is, I fought with him, but then he said, I'm going to call immigration on you. So I let that go. Because I'm like,
Oh, that's foul.
Yeah, because that's what they do, right?
Exactly.
But the good thing is I learned so much, and my English became better and better and better, which Crystal can tell as well. Like with time, you talk every day, you talk to people,
It's immersion.
and
That's the best way to learn language.
right. So
Right in
and
the
my
hood.
that came with me from Switzerland, she was a working girl. And we kind of had this idea to bring girls in from Europe on a tourist visa and they would work. We just had to get the clients and understand everything. And the one girl that already was doing the ads, she explained to me how to do it. I just did it in a different way. I figured it out somehow. And yeah, so with time, after you network, you get better clients and then you have pretty girls. It just started to work out. And after like 9 months, I was pretty well established in terms of apartments that I can pay cash that no one can get in. And it was Airbnb very soon. So, but let's say I was very fair to the girls. There was high-end prices. Everyone got paid. Everyone was taken care of. So that way it wasn't like something that someone had to work for me
Right.
or with me. Not at all. You can come and go as you please, you know. But it's
Right.
just it was a good business. And back then it was 2008 around that time. Everyone would say, "Oh, there's a crash with the course," but it wasn't for that business. It was amazing actually. The money that they would spend.
Depressed men really needed
Yeah,
a
yeah.
release.
Oh man, it's so crazy to me. Was this happening in New York?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so
In
nuts to me how this is legal in one state and super illegal someplace else
right,
in like New York. It's totally illegal. You go to Vegas, they have the Bunny Ranch, and I mean not
right.
Vegas, but Nevada, they have the
Nevada.
Bunny Ranch. You travel right outside of Vegas, and no one asked me how I know that, but it's a fact, and it's totally legal, and no one has a
Well,
problem
if
with it
anybody followed the
there.
Lamar Odom story, you found out about the Bunny Ranch
I
in
mean, well,
Cleveland.
he
So
definitely found out, and he didn't have to follow his story. He made his
sure.
story. So, I mean, like, but it's
If you're
ridiculous to
looking for
me
that, you
how
can
one
find it.
place.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me how in one place something can be completely cool, and then someplace else it
Right.
can be something so bad that if you
Right.
get caught doing it, you're deported and banned from the country for life. Meanwhile, there's another person doing it all day, every day as his only business, and he doesn't fear anything
Right.
happening to him at all.
But I
Right.
mean, it's always a question. Everyone has a different way how they feel about it. But I mean, first of all, I'm absolutely against sex trafficking. I'm against women have to do anything. I'm against pimps. I'm against like all these things that just violent and
Stealing
not
passports and all that kind of
right.
yeah.
But what I feel like if a woman wants to do that job, she should be able to do it on her own terms
Mhm.
and get some protection. And that's just how it is here in Switzerland. It's completely legal, right? I mean, you have to pay taxes on it, and the police
Like
will
all legal things.
Right.
right,
You a
right.
tax not pussy.
Like all legal things. Anything legal gets taxed.
Right. Right.
And I feel like why can't a woman make that own decision? Because it's happening anyway, right? Why not just doing it in somehow a protective way? And then again, a lot of women feel like, oh, this is so disgusting and whatever. Each his own thing, right? But a lot of people they want someone to talk to, go to dinner with. Maybe, it's not always the
Or
same thing.
or
So
strange interests. We were talking about like I mean, I asked my friend last night. I said, "How do you feel about little people?" Like it was just a whole conversation. It was just a weird.
right,
And I said,
right,
and I honestly want to say because I think like I was looking at a page and I was like, "This is an adult woman. She deserves a sex life, but who and what she looks like is a
mm,
fetish. So like how and where and if that's your thing if feet is your thing or if whatever else is your thing and nobody really gets it, you can go someplace and they at least pretend to get it.
right, yeah. So I mean that's just my opinion, but I feel like everyone should have their own. But it's just not going to stop the business because I don't think. I mean, imagine from anything that has to do with sex, that has to do with money or some sort of exchange will be stopped today.
Mhm.
What will happen to the world?
No,
I'm just saying.
Oh,
no,
a lot more wars, a
World
lot
War
more
three,
angry
four,
people,
five.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
people totally
And
So
it would
fighting
just
all the time.
and it would just go
Listen,
underground. It would just
I
go
don't,
underground. Anything that you
I,
make illegal just goes underground anyway.
which is what she's saying is where it is now, depending on where you go, which is why I think it's super corny because, okay, my opinion, I, we can't have it in society both ways. We
Mhm.
can't tell a woman your body, your choice. It's 100% up to you. Whatever you do with your body is completely your business. And we're not going to body shame you and we're not going to slut shame you. We can't say that stuff and then turn around and tell her but you're not allowed to use it for money.
Right.
Like that
That's
doesn't
exactly
make
my
any
point.
sense. That's
Yeah.
too, like, that's so hypocritical and so ridiculous. Like even in situations like the Weinstein setup, the Harvey
Right.
Weinstein setup, he used his power to get what he wants, right?
Right.
I don't know anyone who doesn't do that. I don't know anyone in a position of power or influence who doesn't use it to get what they want somehow, some way. And we really only get upset because of what he wants. He wants sex. He wants attention from women,
Right.
like most powerful men do, but most unpowerful men do. Like men, a ton
And
of
want
men
attention from women.
from women, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the issue. If he said, "Hey, you sleep with me and I'll get you in a movie," and then that woman slept with him and he put her in a movie and she made money and she was successful and it started her career.
Transaction done.
Yeah, and she's not going to be upset. What I notice a lot of is what my father used to say, you were in on the heist, you just didn't like your cut. I notice women, I notice people who go through with it, and then because they didn't get what they wanted or it didn't feel the way they thought it would, or because they have some kind of buyer's remorse, it now becomes the fault of the seller. And
Right.
that's when I kind of start like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure you knew that sleeping with this pudgy, wrinkly white guy,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, wasn't like a sexually appealing thing to you. I think you knew what
It
you were
was
going to get
something
out of it.
right. It was something you were hoping to get out of it.
Right.
But
And now the
Plug
question
your
is,
nose and go underwater anyway.
the question is, did you? The question is, did you? Like,
Right.
okay, I eat vegetables constantly, including the ones that I don't necessarily care for, but I know it's going to be good for me. So I may hold my nose and go ahead and do the thing. But I dig what happens after the fact. Now, I don't like the taste of it, but I understand that this is what's necessary to do. In my business, there's
For
people
your
I need to
health, right,
talk
right.
to. Right. In my business, there's people I need to talk to make money. I don't necessarily like these people. Some of them I think are arrogant, obnoxious, loud, dumb, but here I am dealing with them all day, every day, because this is what the business entails.
Mhm.
It's not for me to say, I made money and I got what I asked for, but now I'm pissed off because I wanted it to be something else than what I signed up for.
Okay, the difference go ahead, go ahead.
I don't know if you guys saw the movie Bombshell. Is about the
I just
Fox.
watched it again.
Right, right.
I did
But there
not.
I kind of can't understand it because now you work hard for your career and you do everything and you deserve that position, but you're not getting it because you're not sleeping with the boss. That is kind of like
That's
something
something foul. That's
right,
foul.
right.
That's
Because
foul.
using his influence to put people on, but using it to block
Yeah,
people's success and to make them just generally feel like men don't walk around, and I don't know if this is true, I'm saying this from my perspective. Men don't walk around like hoping their bulge doesn't show, their penis doesn't show through their pants because they're going to either get uncomfortable in attention, or they're going to be penalized for it. Oh, sorry, that's a bad joke. But
about the
but
Grace Dance saga.
the gray sweatpants, what you looking like a hoe for? But yeah, I don't, having to walk around and every part of you, front, back, upper body, lower body, every part of you is then used against or for, and even when it's for, when people are flirting with you, it feels good until you realize, like, most people like attention. It
Right.
feels good until it's from the wrong person, or until they won't listen to you. My eyes are up here, or listen to what I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
it's yeah, we like being pretty. Guys like looking good. We all like looking good and being, thought of as good looking, until it takes away from the substance or the goal, which is a lot of people's goal um is respect.
Right.
Respect and
If that's
genuine.
your goal. If
Well,
that's
I
your
think
goal.
most people want to feel respected on something. Even if you want the fluffy attributes, like the fluffy, like, oh, she got a great ass, right?
Mm,
But does she want to only be known for her ass? I
right.
think there's a lot of people that pretend that's okay or that's enough. Instagram types or girls that get them done or whatever. They pretend that's enough. Do they really want a family and kids at some point, or at least to be respected? I think a lot of them do, but they're going to pretend that they don't, because this is what they signed up for. and they don't think they'll ever get it.
Okay, I agree with you on one part.
Okay.
The only challenge I have is I've met a lot of women who in strip clubs who share the same mentality I do, right? I've noticed the women in strip clubs 9 times out of 10 are not looking for respect of the patrons in the strip club because a lot of them don't respect the patrons who show up in the first place.
Right.
I've noticed there are a lot of dancers who look down on the gentlemen who show
Right.
up. Oh, like, you nasty. What you doing here? You can't get it for free. You got to come in here and pay for it. I don't respect him. So in that way, they don't want the respect of
Right. He's just money bags.
people. Right.
Come in here, let's use him, send him.
I
off.
personally don't care about being respected by people who I am indifferent towards. There's a handful of people who I would like some respect from. I think if you didn't respect me, I'd feel some kind of way, Crystal. And because this is a friend of yours and I know you through your merit, I would also have an issue if she told me if Neves told me, am I saying your name right, Neves?
Nevis.
Nevis. If Nevis told me she didn't respect me, I'd also be like, oh man, why? Like, what did I do? What happened?
Right.
I'd be a little concerned. But there are tons of people who, if they said, I ain't got no respect for Mecca,
Okay, and
why are you even telling me? Like, why if you don't respect me, why are you even mentioning it? Because I don't care. You can't think that I care. I don't even like you.
That's like that meme. Oh, you don't like me? I don't even know who you are.
Oh,
And I think it's like if you're doing something in life, people will hate on you, and that's maybe the reason they don't respect you. If there's no reason why someone shouldn't respect you, then they have no reason. So it's just something that they
It's
hate
just
on.
jealousy or yeah, that's hater.
Right.
I was explaining to my friend Maya my definition of a hater. I said, not liking somebody isn't being a hater. If you have a valid reason, or if you just don't, I mean, it's valid to you. Being a hater is when you try to like round up people or tell other people or collect people to not like you for unbiased, unbased reasons, right? Like if I have a bad experience with a celebrity and I see her picture and I'm like, man, I don't like that one. But if I'm like go around telling people that story to get them to not like her, it could have been a bad moment. And I know enough celebrities to know that a bad moment shouldn't define you.
Right.
Some people love my man and will sing his praises, and one bad experience and people will be like, yo, that guy, he's a dick. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but people just like to talk because they want to bring up something. But I'm saying, like, since
Feel
the
involved,
book
yeah.
is out,
Hater.
yeah,
Because
since
your
the book is
insecurities
out-
about it, yeah.
Right. I mean, since my book is out, I had a bunch of interviews and things are going well. I have plenty of people making crazy comments, and it's always a fake account and stuff. And I really don't care. But Crystal knows me. I don't care either way. If I feel like I'm doing something wrong, though, and you can correct me on it, I will definitely make sure that I can correct myself, even if it's someone that I don't know. Because maybe they see something that I don't see and I can learn from it. But if you just come and insult, hate on me, then I know I'm doing everything perfect. I mean,
Right.
otherwise, who takes the time out of their life to come and insult someone? But that's the internet, you know? So I'm just not taking it too serious in that sense.
Well, also even before the pandemic, people were wasting their time. Now we have a lot more time
Right.
to wait. And a
Yeah.
lot more stress to take out. And like, where's the punching bag? So the internet becomes the punching bag.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
People stuff.
But when you first, I mean, at what point, and I don't think I've ever asked you this, is like as a friend almost, I'm curious. By doing something, even at that young age, that coming to America sounds great. I'm going to be a star, great. But
Right.
immediately becoming a dancer, an exotic dancer, you're already doing something that people judge. At what point do you either ignore or get over judgment? Because when I was young, it hurt a lot more. Like being bullied as a young person hurts a lot more than as an adult. I'm like, oh, you care? You think I care what you think? Oh, my hair isn't feminine enough for you? Sorry, right?
I mean, it's self-confidence as well. And you grow and you're going to have more of that. And you're going to learn about your own mistakes or the way you want to change how people look at you. But as you know me, I really don't care.
But did you ever? Did you ever?
No.
No,
But unless I'm offending somebody. But if I go and work at a gentleman's club and I make my money to go do more with myself and my life, and I'm okay with it,
right?
Why is someone else not okay with it? So and I don't. But in return, I don't judge people either. I had a moment at one time in my life that I felt like I judged another female for something. And then I had to think about myself. I'm like, am I anyone to judge anyone? No. As long as it doesn't involve hurting people, or messing up lives or stuff like that. Then, and the same with the escort service. Let's be real. I'm not making no one doing anything. But if you feel
Right.
like you can do it, and I see you go in the wrong direction, I will cut you off, and or I will help you to get on the right path. I'm not Mother Teresa. No, it's of course a business that is not really accepted. That it's called
Right.
dirty and all that stuff. And I'm not proud of everything I did. I can't say that. No, but it has brought me to the point where I'm at right now. And right now, I can say I'm proud. I can say whatever I do, I have good intentions. I'm moving forward in my life, and I help other people.
Right.
So
Mhm.
What
I made
about,
a book
go
or
ahead.
the story. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying you don't make people do, you didn't and don't make people do anything that they don't want to do. Um, that's an excuse. Just forgive me. I'm going to play devil's advocate. That's an excuse a lot of drug dealers use because you were also selling, and that's
Right.
what you actually got arrested for.
Correct.
Because there was the escort business, and then there was small amounts of cocaine, and then it became bigger amounts, and then there was the
Right.
big deal, right?
Right.
Which I mean, I'm going to plug it for the new movie coming out at some point. It's,
Definitely.
we'll tell the whole story, but that's a lot of drug dealers' excuse is like they were going to buy it from somebody.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
but selling a substance that does hurt people's health or mentality, or people that might be desperate, or people, you know, we can go to the escort side of things, men that are married and just looking for an escape or cheating. Like, how do you rationalize or explain to people that might not understand or might feel like that's
and there's another side. I mean, of course, if my, let's say if a friend of mine has a husband that keeps calling escort service and does drugs and stuff, I can't say I didn't do that because I have sold drugs and I have had girls working, right? So I understand you by that way, and I don't have an excuse for it. I would just say it's business, which is not an excuse. It's just that's how you make money. And I saw the money in the Wall Street.
Mhm.
It was just intense. It was always requested, hey, can we have some this and some that? Because it just goes together. Prostitution and drugs kind of goes together. Yeah, and I just saw a way to make business. And but what I can't say is it's not an excuse. But I wouldn't go to people and say, hey, try this or do this or get this girl.
Right.
It's they coming to me. But I understand what you're saying. On the
Right.
other side, I'm the one providing it. Yeah.
Right. Well,
So
and also, I mean, this is actually a funny story. I don't know if he's listening. A friend of mine sent me a screenshot. It was like a page of it was a fashion something. He was sending me like something he wanted to buy, and he was like, "What do you think of this?" I go, "What I think is that you have 8 porn tabs open on the top of your screen that you just sent me." And
oh
so
shit.
it was really funny, but I was like, "Listen, I didn't think or not think that you do or don't watch porn, but damn, son, like you got 8 tabs open and
That
didn't think anything of it, took a whole picture of your screen, and right, either this is common knowledge
right.
or no shame, or you just really overlooked it.
I
But
think
people are
both.
gonna find whatever their thing is,
Right.
right? Your thing is looking at the biggest asses, or you know, double this, and you know,
Mhm.
whatever, you're gonna find it. And therefore, I guess, I mean, because I've tried to rationalize too, the business, and they're like, "Oh, your friend is a madam," and I was like, "Yeah," and I know some other girls, and they're great girls, and they live regular lives too. Like they
Right.
actually exist when they're not sucking somebody's for money. Like they actually have a life, and some of them
Right.
are great girls.
And a
Uh,
lot of
and I said girls, young women, like yeah,
but I mean, there's another kind of double standard, right? Let's say a girl is in college or she wants to open a business or whatever she wants to do with the money that brings her further, not just buying bags and shoes. Because
yeah,
I would
or
always
send money home to whatever
right
her
wherever
family.
they
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
send it, yeah, or they have kids that they want to support. If someone has a boyfriend or a sugar daddy or goes on a vacation for a handbag, it's not the same, but it's kind of like you're still doing something that you're doing for something. And then again,
uh-huh.
there's women who get married for money or like, to someone that's rich to take care of them. So it's of course not exactly the same, but it's kind of like,
Transactional. It's a little transactional. Yeah.
exactly. So I just feel like no one should judge nobody. I always told my girls, 2 years, 3 years, save your money, have other men buy you shoes and bags. I mean, you should know how to get that done. That's just my opinion in that sense. Um, yeah, make the
I
most
don't
out
I
of that.
don't think anybody should have a problem with being used, especially since we all use each other.
Right.
The problem is
Well-
being misused. That's the issue. When you're lying to someone about why
What they
this is
get for the
happening
money
or
or
what's
whatever.
happening, then we have a problem. I don't think there should be any, if I'm keeping it 1,000, I don't really think there should be any problem with drug dealers in general. I think you should be able to sell someone what they really want. And they're going to get it from somebody is a very valid reason, because it's basically saying, just because I don't sell this person what they want doesn't mean they're not going to find a way to get it, or they're going to be instantly cured. And it's not my responsibility to safeguard this person's health. For all I know, they're fully functioning cokeheads, and this could be the thing that they do that gets them over the top. So
Right.
I don't judge anybody for doing. Now, will I trust my finances in the hands of a cokehead? Probably not. So I'd like to know that you do coke early, so I know not to leave any money with you, because your habit may get the best of you.
Right. On a lunch break, you might go find your dealer.
Right. If you're
Supposed to run out and get a sushi, and you came back with what?
yeah, if you're a nymphomaniac, should I leave my money with you? No, because Nevis might be somewhere around here and might, just pop up on a billboard, and he might run off with my money, and I won't see him for like a week. And then he comes back completely happy and, 10 pounds lighter, and Nevis pulls up in a car that I paid for. So,
Circle of life. No.
if we're being honest about this, like from all the strippers that I've dated, from like the porn star I dated, from like the women that I've known who I had no reason to judge, who turned out to be excellent people,
Right.
there is no getting around the fact that people want what they want, and determining it illegal or legal,
immoral
really doesn't change the fact that, now, where I draw the line, if you're hurting someone else, to do what you want to do, or overly taking advantage, i.e., if there are children or minors or people who are really can't consent, now I have an issue. But outside of that, fully grown adults deciding what they want to do with their money and their bodies, I really don't think that's anybody's business. It shouldn't be anybody's worry.
Right.
Well, I have a question. There's also different ages in different places of legality and maturity, and it's like the legality of it oftentimes, I think, coincides with how a culture is. Like, you grow up faster in Europe for various reasons, and the age of consent, I believe, is lower.
Yes, but the age of prostitution consent is 18.
Okay.
Oh, well, see, then there's that.
Right. So, but for just consensual sex, what is it?
14.
14.
Yikes.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm not gonna say it's paradise.
Right.
But no, and the crazy thing is too, like, I mean, I was working in music as well. I did bookings and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people pointing maybe fingers on a particular person right now that's out there and has some issues with, younger girls or whatever. But a lot of them are like that, because in Europe it's legal, and a lot of them go over there and they have these young girls. They might don't ask the question, how old are you? But they know. And it's like I said, unfortunately, it's like that. You're supposed to be not older than 18, but let's say a 14-year-old has sex with a man that's 35 or 30. You can go to the police or whatever, but there's nothing really happening. It's something that's really behind over here. Because if you 14-year-old girl, a man can easily influence you for whatever. You're gonna fall for it.
And that's the problem I have.
Right. And that's right.
That's the
if
issue.
If your boss is trying to influence you to some extent, and you're adult, like, your brain should be formed enough to know,
right,
this isn't right. I can either go to HR, I can either risk losing the job, but this is kind of like my responsibility.
And your job shouldn't be at risk as a woman by saying no.
Shouldn't. But I'm saying, but if it is, it's like your brain is formed enough to know that it's your responsibility and nobody else's to protect you in that moment. And if you go for it, you're participating in the heist, like you said.
Right.
So but a child doesn't know that. And I say a child, a teen doesn't know that. They think that maybe that there would be consequences they can avoid by doing this, or they might get generally what the person is promising, and everything will just go away and it'll be fine. Like, just don't rock the boat. Just don't upset anyone.
when I was a 14-year-old girl and a grown man gives me attention, first of all, I have respect and I'm afraid and I'm not going to talk back or anything because I was just like a grown person and you still
Yeah,
just
your elders, respect your elders.
Yeah. So, and then I think the first time I got hit on by like an older guy, I was 14. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, okay. I'm not in a sense of like, you still have that thing of like grown and you're a teenager and you don't know how to react, but that's how you learn. You're supposed to get older, get more self-confidence, understand your body, your mind.
And you hopefully have older influences, like older females or a parent
Right,
or somebody around that can like help you walk you through it. But a lot of
right.
people just try to deal with it themselves.
And then when you're 14, you think it's cool to have older boyfriend. Now, when you turn older, you feel like, what the hell, right? I mean, that was not right.
Yeah.
You know it's not right. And
When I'm 25 and I'm thinking about my 25-year-old guy friends hitting on 15-year-olds, I'm like, ew, that's just
something's
so
wrong. Yes,
wrong. When
even
I
as
was 15, I was like, yeah, I'm older.
but even don't forget that it's sometimes a little double standard. Even a lot of women, they're older, they hook up with teenagers because they're boys or they want to try out. You don't really feel like you, but still that's wrong. I could never imagine myself at any time to hook up with a younger guy like that. Like,
A younger.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's a good segue. Let's talk about who you're hooking up with now. So with all this good stuff happening, yeah, that was a good one, right? With all this success and fame and stuff going on, and all the things that you've seen, what are the kind of guys that are turning the head of Miss Madam in 2021?
Well, I have to say, not the best in choosing my partners.
Oh no.
But I'm saying I'm someone back when I was younger, let's say, I was an honest, can I say gold digger? I don't know if that's the right word.
Sure, if that's what it was.
But let's say I wanted certain things, but
You had honest standards.
And yeah, very clear and directly, because I wasn't into like having a relationship. And then I met someone and I had a relationship, didn't work out. But then I think the first time I fell in love was with a guy that I did the business together with, and we made it bigger together. But in the end, I went to prison. So as I got caught up in all that, so it didn't work out, but it was kind of wake up call too. When it comes to loyalty, I'm a very loyal person, I would say, and sometimes that just doesn't come back. So being naive sometimes, that was what I was learning. Now, the kind of guys or men I like or would appreciate are kind people that really mean it. They want to do something in their life. I don't like lazy people like that. It just doesn't match with me because I'm always doing something. I'm nervous, ADHD on 10. So, and then just someone that wants to grow with me. And that's just a little bit, and this is a little really hard. I wanted a man that is like dominating, but still lets me do and trusts me that I do the right thing, but still gives me advice. So I'm a little bit domestic, but still independent. So to find that way is someone that's rolling with you, like as a partner. But in return, I can be very domestic, but as well take the lead, get stuff done. So that's
it was really interesting. Right before shit went south, you were in the process of like breaking out and going, you were gonna go clean. Like you wanted to have a child and
yeah, I was
and open up a organic food truck.
Bagel shop.
A bagel, yeah. Like she was literally the whole idea of this last deal was literally to go legit, was to get out, to get that
Well,
one big chunk of money so that she could just be out. And that's crazy.
Even I had to go through some things, but God really guided me because in the end, the guy wasn't for me. Even at this point, we are cool.
I mean, thank God you weren't pregnant when you went to prison.
Well, we was trying to get pregnant, and then I got locked up. I never got pregnant. Then I found out there was another baby that he had on the way.
Oh man!
Something else. So I was kind of safe. I'm like, thank you, God. And then so God really saved me in that one, definitely, because it was
God. Nobody ever said God sent me to jail for the right reason.
Right. No, but even that, I had a bad attitude towards I never get caught. I'm doing whatever I want to do, and all these things I had to fall on front face and just get it. And then, like I said, the lifestyle I had going to Rikers Island, going to prison, that made me waking up and being just, let's say, like you said, seeing things a little bit different and see, what, that's not the way to go. Even I made all this money, it's gone, and I started from scratch at the age 26, 27 when I came home, so yeah, it opened my eyes. So
well,
oh my goodness.
Yeah. I had some
What a tale. I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
glad
Well, and
I'm
there's been
happy
a
that
few.
he's out of the paint.
There's
Good
been a
for you.
couple since in Europe, and but you've told me that like when you get um access, I would say the American dream type thing. There's an American way that you found attractive,
Right.
and that
Gentle.
you don't find the
Yeah.
type of men that you tend to be attracted to very much in Europe.
No, I can't say nowhere because everyone is different, right? As a
Right.
person, it's like here, women are very independent and do everything on themselves. And it's not that I need help, but I would like to have a partner that's a partner as well and does do their part. And here, it's a little bit more like the women choose the guys and they just go with it, and you're more like the one leading. I still think picking someone up from the house for a date, opening the door, these little things they're kind of missing here. And in the States, I have to say, they're like,
Chivalry.
yeah, they are. And they generally look out for you. Like here is different. Maybe I just haven't met.
The
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yay for American guys.
Right,
Yay.
right.
You be
Yeah.
my American boy,
Thank you
American
so much.
boy.
Because the Trump administration is making us American men look really crappy lately. So
Right,
thank you.
right. Well, but I mean, again, I have met some great guys. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and sometimes it does. And I just really, whenever I just turned 33, and every time I have an interview, someone asks me, "Oh, you're 33 years old. Are you married? Do you have kids?" No, I don't. And I also
Mhm.
make money and have my own house and my own. I have a great social security. So, but at the same time, if that happens, I'm dating, I'm getting to know someone and be vibing, and it's right then. And I don't even want to do a title before that. I feel like
Oh,
an
go ahead.
excuse to have a boyfriend just so you can hook up. I'm a grown woman. I can do whatever I want to do. Let's just be honest to each other.
Mhm.
Right.
That's the way I
Really
go
good
now.
advice.
And
I have
that's just
another.
yeah.
I was gonna say I have another question, and that is I think this is a question because I don't know who all is listening, women, men, old, young. People have a real fear of their past screwing up their future.
Right.
Um, how do you explain what you did, and do you just have to hope that magically that the guys that you're into or that the man that could be right for you can accept your past or your perspective? How do
Well,
you? Because a lot
yeah,
of women that have done OnlyFans or that have been a stripper or
right.
who think that prostitution is nothing to judge, and then your
Well,
perspective can mess up
the
with
thing
guys.
I don't want to like tell everything about myself on a first date, right? But if there is social media or they want to connect somewhere on that level, I'm going to be honest. But I
Mhm.
asked them not to read the book or read some things until they got to know me and then
Right.
judge me then and read everything. It's not that bad, but I'm just saying like I had dates that the guy came on. He's like, "Oh, I saw on social media, and this date is over. Um, whatever you did, I cannot. I'm a doctor or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, then you're not the guy for me anyway." If you cannot accept that, then we don't need to continue that either. Because I can't change it. But I'm not saying, "Oh my God, I was such a horrible person." Yeah, I wasn't perfect, but
Mhm.
oh well. Can I change it now? I'm not gonna lie to you though. I just rather have someone
I
or even a
I
mother they come and buy the book and yeah.
Ne- uh, Nevis, I think you should put the book on the table at the first date, hand it to him, say, "Read this. I'll see you in a couple of days when you finish it.
Or
Come back
Or you can
around, let
make it
me
like a
know."
drinking game. You can make it like a drinking game. Like you have to like pick a number and go to that page and just read that and then have a conversation about it.
No,
Like
no,
that's
no. Don't do that. Don't do that because then the dude is going to get drunk. No, be sober. I want all consent. You
oh God.
read this book. Here's the book. Hey, listen, Nevis, I think you're like really, really hot. I love the way you're looking at bikini. Do you think I can take you to dinner sometime? No problem. Here's this book. Read it. Bring it back to me like in a
First
week.
buy
Let me know if you still want to go out. If you read the book and you still
Right.
want to get down, no problem. If you read the book and you don't want to get down, give me
I
my
think
book back and then go away.
Yeah,
well,
but Mecca, there's one thing though. A lot of people who read the book or just look at it or just look at social media, they're gonna judge you because they don't understand the business. They don't understand the title. They don't understand anything. They're just gonna say, "Oh, you were doing this or we're doing that."
it's
Let
glorified a little bit. I
see my
think
values, right? Get to know me and see my values because I am actually very old school when it comes to relationships or my private relationships. And then other thing is business. So see these two sides of me.
so. I think this is let me I think you knew this was coming. Sometimes this particular book has rubbed some people wrong, right?
Mhm.
How it was written, details in it. Tell-all books, life stories are tough. I'm not
Right.
saying it's easy to do. Um, because, for example, like just in this example, you could have expressed more of your traditional values in the book to
Mhm.
share that there's a dichotomy, that there's two sides to you.
Right.
Instead, the book more like it more glorifies and fetishizes almost the business and the I was doing this, I made the money, we were running and it was expensive and rich people and sex and drugs and prostitutes and da 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 da, right?
Right.
So if you read the book, you don't necessarily get a feel for the type of person you really are, and if and a full book about you as a person would share more of that.
Right. And I can
So
actually say a lot to that. Today I got the contract of this new studio that's just is on the way up to my lawyer now. And one of the points is I want to rewrite this book. When I wrote it first, and imagine I have never done this before. I didn't have the right people around me, I guess. That's why I'm in this situation as well with the publisher. I had this writer, I talked to her for 3 months, and she wrote it from her perspective.
what
Now to
she thought
explain
was
to
exciting and what she thought.
yeah, that she thought that's gonna sell. And I look very, or it sounds very arrogant in the book how I am. And you know, I'm not that arrogant. I can be a complete biatch when it comes to someone screwing me, someone disrespecting me, or someone taking my money.
Mhm.
But I'm still not that kind of person that's gonna do. No, I'm not gonna say that. I can't be malicious, but it was back then. But then again, I'm a fun person, I'm a loyal person, and all these things. So that's very true. She described me and a lot of characters in the book, not how it really is. I mean, and that's why I want to redo it.
Right.
And I rather want to go like I said, with this book deal comes as well a documentary and a movie. So it's just shown from a different side. And the writers I have now, they're amazing women. And we can go through page from page to page. And we really, she
Right.
said, I want to make sure you really
Are
are,
comfortable in belief.
yeah, and this is
I
really you,
remember
you
I
know?
remember when you had to read it and turn it in and they pressured her, they were like, you can only make 3 changes.
Yeah,
And they're
and
like,
Oh,
and you
that's
have to
funny.
approve it by tomorrow when they were supposed to give it to her 3 weeks before. And it was
a
a
month,
mess. So I
a month,
feel for you, but I also was like, holy crap, this is how it
right?
came out. And it was
And
hard for me to support because I was like, this isn't the full real story how it should have been told. And I felt bad for you and for us as friends because I always want to support my friends.
right,
But the way that like it's crazy how like artistically things can just come out wrong. Like if somebody
right,
writes a song about someone and they mean it a certain way, but it comes
right.
out
Yeah,
different
exactly.
way.
But it's about the delivery, and I felt like she understood me. But again, I only had 1 week, and she put in names that I specifically said there's no names in my book besides the guy who set me up. I don't care about that. I made peace with that. I'm okay with that. But nobody else. There's no names in there, and I specifically said that. And so, like I said, I'm just gonna redo it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this an amazing book with an amazing writer now that is really respecting the ways how I am, and the movie is gonna even show more, I think, because in the movie you can,
What type of movie?
I'm
What
going
would you
with, hold
compare it
on.
to?
I'm going with my first mind here. I say any man who wants to take you out, I say you give him the original copy, you let him read it. I said what I said, you give him the original. Now, if he
Yeah.
wants to still get to know you after reading that glamorized version, then he's probably worth it. But if he just looks at that glamorized version and says, nah, I'm judging a book by its cover, literally, then let him walk because he's not tough enough. He can't take what's coming.
I think the only reason I disagree is because I would think if I was the dude, if I could put myself in shoes of a new dude who just meets her, reads the book, I would be like, she's cute, but is she deep enough for me? Is she thoughtful enough? Like, is she really just that cut and simple of a
That's what the dates are
but
for.
right, but
That's
I'm
why you
saying, but
start
that's
the
why you go on
dating
the
thing.
dates and then discuss this side of
Right?
the
No,
business.
that's what I'm saying. You read the book first. You
No, you
come
go on
back
dates
and
and then discuss that side of the business.
no,
We're gonna argue this one.
I believe in putting your damn near
Worst foot
worst
first?
foot forward. Yes. Yes, you
Oh
need to love
God.
me at my filthy, gross, all the worst stuff about me. You need to hear that stuff now. Like this is as bad as it's gonna be. Now, if you can take me at my worst, then all of this other cream stuff is for you, and it's gonna be nothing but icing and good times. But here's
You have to
me. Here's
dig through shit to get to the prize.
Hey, it's called
Oh,
fertilizer. Here's
No,
what
but
it's gonna look like when it's all said and done.
uh,
Like now, if you can take it, if you can take it.
I can take it. Mecca, the more thing is like a lot of guys, and especially the younger generation, let's say, they want to take advantage or like have a come up. So, and that's another thing that I said. I want people to, you don't have to be rich for me. No, I make my own money, but have a plan, have a goal,
Ambition.
work with an ambition. I don't feel like I said, I mean, there was a situation that was saying like, I don't understand it. Because for me, I'm old school in that sense. Maybe it's just a guy supposed to like have his own thing. So with the book situation, I'm just going to take it day by day. When it comes to dating as well. And now it's a pandemic. So it's been a quiet time.
Quiet.
Not really, but kind of.
Are you a virgin in 2021?
Probably not. No.
Said probably not.
Probably.
No,
Well,
I have
I
met
met so far,
someone,
but yeah.
and you can just have way more time to actually talk to a person instead of just seeing them all the time, right? So you actually can get to know them.
I actually think that I've had some much more deeper, I was going to say that, much deeper conversations with people in my life, and realized, and I've actually become closer with people I never expected to, and
Right.
fallen off with people that I thought I was close to
Right.
because
Same.
of the pandemic, because it was convenient. I was like rocked to sleep by social activities.
Right.
Go out, have drinks. You think you're close, but who do you actually get to know and stay in touch with, like texts, calls, FaceTimes
Right.
during this time? It's actually pretty interesting who
And
like,
it's gonna
filters
fall
to the
real
surface.
quick if you have nothing to talk about. And that happens a lot. I mean, I'm someone, I talk a lot. I mean, we both
Yeah.
are. And if you always have something to talk about, well, that's why we get along. There's
Right.
certain people, they have nothing to talk. So I'm like, at one point, it's gonna fall off anyway, right? It's just the
Right.
interest is gonna fade.
Right.
And when you see each other, that's gonna be like, oh, it's still like, there is someone there. And then if you don't have that, it's much better. You can figure it out.
So
I got
how soon?
nothing. I'm chilling. Every nothing's really changed. I'm chilling. I got nothing.
Well, you're in a great relationship where you live together, which changes a lot.
Which is why I got nothing.
Which is the
Like,
goal. Right, yeah, that's the goal. I think for a lot of us is to feel like family, feel like a partner, like you comfortable as AF with
Well,
somebody.
what I'm saying is I didn't, even before this, I didn't deal very well with FOMO. Like I don't really have a fear of missing out. So I don't really care about, and I never drank, I never smoked. So bonding with someone over a drink or like those kinds of social things has never
You always wanted
interested me.
substance. Yeah, you always.
But it's got to be deeper than something that anyone else can provide. There are trillions of bars in all around the world. Like there's nothing special about meeting up for a drink. I can meet up for a drink and have ginger ale and be like, so why should I stick around? Like who, you know what I mean? Like that means nothing to me. So I've been pandemic wise, I've been kind of, well, I've excelled, but it's kind of like socially, it's been kind of the same thing. Now I'm just not obligated to go show my face in places.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
I think it's been good for me because I was like actually sort of woke up. I was living in a cave known as One Oak for a long time.
Right.
I was in there. I got home. I went to bed. I went back to One Oak at some point.
I'm
And
just mad I don't get to wear my clothes.
Yeah, I miss
I
fashion.
have such nice clothes. Like my hoodies and my sneakers and my Timberlands and these jeans. Even these jeans are so cool. Like, look at this hoodie. This is so dope. And these jeans are like fantastic. And I can't wear them anywhere except for around the house. And thank God she likes the way I look in my clothes because she
and out of them. And, my last question, because I think we're about to run out of time, is when do you think the movie's coming? Who do you want to play you? This is a 3-part question. And what movie?
Angelina Jolie.
And what type of how would you do, what type of movie? Like, is it drama? Is it action? Is it sex pose? What type of, describe,
Good. Okay. First question, when does the movie come out? Because of the pandemic, there's of course a lot of delays. But I think the documentary is going to be the first thing that we're going to do, which will take a lot of time. Meanwhile, they're already writing the script right now. So I hope this year we can at least finish the script and have some more details, but then again, funding, then they shut it down again. So it's really open. We can't know, but I'm glad to be working with the people. Second of all, who should play me? Now, Angelina Jolie, love it, but she's too old. You gotta imagine, I was 20 years old when I did all this crap, or this crazy story. So
CGI.
did all this crap.
Ariana Grande. She could fit my type because I'm 5'2", I'm petite, dark hair.
You're a little thing.
I am.
Have you seen pictures of us together?
No.
She looks like my child.
Yeah, I do. I come to the boobies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I reach the boobies. And number 3, I think it should be a drama, but a lot of comedy too. Because the thing is this, with my story, I don't want to just be like, because the truth is I had a lot of fun. I love the United States. Even I can't come back for 25 years. I did a lot of fun things, and that should be in front as well. And then the business stuff, yes, I made money, and my dream was to make money and do something else. It didn't work out like with most people. So I went to jail, did my time, back to Europe, and start again. And that's the inspiration. And completely
Very nice.
legal. I wouldn't even have go into the bus with no ticket. And it worked out well. So
Oh, she's by the books now. And what do you do now? Just tell the what is your job now?
so I have like an office job. I work in HR. I'm a headhunter in sales, basically. I bring in
Ha.
yeah,
Headhunter.
right.
Ah,
And I find people for like different jobs and stuff. At the same time, I'm working on a medical cannabis business that I want to do. That is very interesting. I've been working on this for a minute. Then, of course, the movie, book, and documentary. And yeah, there's just a lot of things that I still want to do. I can't stop working. I'm a hustler. I can just not sit down.
Okay, well, it
So,
sounds to me like you pulled the dream off. You made money, you stopped, and then you go do something else. Well, you made the money, you stopped, and now you're doing something else. So it sounds like it worked out to me. I don't know what part you're listening to, but according to that book has a happy ending. Could you please tell people where to find you, just in case they go looking?
of course. So my Instagram is at intelmadam. It's spelled INTLMADAME in the end. Or my website is www.theinternationalmadam with no E in the end.com. And Facebook is The International Madam. So just type it in. And I have a YouTube channel with like different interviews. So just go check them out.
We'll be on there sooner than later.
yeah.
And we now have a friend in Switzerland to go visit. So I say we get our passports together as soon as this nonsense clears up and go see what it's like where they speak a bunch of languages.
Yeah, definitely guys should come and do like a whole show over here. I'll bring you to Brussels, all that.
Yeah, no problem. I'll put you in the book bag. We'll carry you all over the place. In the meantime, in between time, I'm your man, Mr. Mac.
And I'm Crystal Levin.
This has been the M+M+M show, a.k.a. the show. May you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Do us a favor. Go get laid. Peace.
Woo, woo. And happy birthday, Nevis.
Peace. Thank you.